Good morning. It is Wednesday, December the 28th, 2022. I am Pearson Bowen and this is the CBC Morning Report. There's a worldwide expectation that oil prices will be going up early in the new year. This after Russian President Vladimir Putin issued a decree yesterday that bans oil sales to countries and companies that comply with a price cap agreed to by Western countries in response to Moscow's invasion of Ukraine. Moscow gave its long-awaited response to the price cap, banning the supply of crude oil and oil products from February the 1st for 5 months to nations that abide by the cap. CBC News spoke with economist Jeremy Stephen, who says it is a wait-and-see attitude on how this latest development will impact Barbados.
There is a lot of talk about global pressures for the price of oil and refined petroleum products to increase, at least going into the new year, particularly on a number of grounds. Of interest at this point right now is the idea, or rather the initiative by Putin from February to begin cutting his supply of exports in retaliation or in reaction to the fact that the G7 has been trying its best, or has tried its best, to squeeze Putin's ability to engage in Ukraine, the war in Ukraine, on the grounds of him having massive exports normally of oil, therefore funding his war efforts. And they've capped the price as a result. So this is his retaliation, but, as it stands, where we are concerned in Barbados generally has to do with the signaling or price of oil and refined petroleum products regarding OPEC. Our main importers, our main trade partners with respect to oil are not OPEC related, but they do take signaling measures from them. In other words, they look at what OPEC is going to sell for.
Mr. Stevens says it all comes down to how OPEC will respond. They may see the cut in supply as grounds to raise prices.
If Russia, as the second largest exporter of crude oil products, is going to cut their supply, it signals a smaller supply available for the global market, and therefore OPEC may react by also cutting their own supply, given that the price of oil has been contained for so long. Now, well, not so long, but over the last year, there's been some massive efforts to contain a massive increase in oil prices, particularly. So with us here now, we just have to wait in Barbados to see what OPEC does, and then in retaliation, in response, what the United States of America will do, along with other trading partners such as the Netherlands and Trinidad and Tobago to a lesser extent, to see what they are going to do, and Guyana when it comes to refined petroleum products. Crude petroleum products.
Well, the economist says he does believe there will be a rise in prices, but it won't be sustained for too long.
It's clear that Putin has made a lot of money and he's then able to probably support his war efforts for the 5 months or thereabouts that he's expecting to cut supply of oil exports. Should the campaign be unsuccessful, you would see him revoking that initiative sooner, or rescinding that initiative sooner rather than later.
Well, let's now get an international perspective on Putin's decree that bans oil sales to countries and companies that comply with the price cap.
The decree will come into effect from February. This month, the European Union, G7 and Australia agreed on a $60 per barrel price cap on Russian crude oil. Many countries have pledged to end or severely cut back their oil and gas imports from Russia since its invasion of Ukraine, and that's because Russia's economy is dependent on its energy sector. The cap was seeking to restrict that revenue while making sure Moscow kept supplying the global market. But Russia said the cap wouldn't affect its military campaign in Ukraine and that it was confident it could find new buyers. Countries like India and China have continued to purchase Russian oil. Vasyslav Mishchenko is an oil and gas analyst. He joins me now via Skype from Moscow. Good to have you with us on the programme, sir. We would have expected Russia to respond to the recent price cap agreement from the G7, EU and Australia. But what impact will this have now, come February, on Russian exports?
So, as you absolutely rightly presented, it's a response to the price cap, establishing the price cap from the Western nations, and it was announced, and today it was signed. So this is a decree that prohibits and doesn't allow Russian companies, Russian exporters, to export, to have a relationship with the counterparties that supporting the price cap mechanism. So it's already, we see in the market there is a hike on crude oil prices. I think this is a direct impact of this decree.
So indeed, in reality, we're looking at EU states now having voted for that price cap. They're going to be in the firing line, but it impacts everybody, doesn't it? Including countries that might want to buy Russian oil, but will find it difficult, perhaps, to get it to their countries in terms of the transport issues and the insurance for ships that will require that may be required to transport it.
Yes, absolutely, that's true. I think the political method or political actual involvement into the pricing mechanism, especially into such a big market like crude oil, global crude oil market, does concern everybody.
Coming up on the CBC Morning Report today, an update on the Arctic freeze in the United States, and attacks continue in Ukraine on their energy facilities.
Rocking around the Christmas tree, have a happy holiday.
So, I'm Sam.
I'm Alicia.
I'm Nadia.
And we're from the Television's Production Department at the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation.
Wishing you a Merry Christmas
And a Happy New Year.
Season's greetings.
And I all booty hand.
Me too.
All booty hand. All booty hand.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.ve. And together we will travel the world.
Emergency crews are ramping up snow clearing and rescue operations after what's been called the blizzard of the century blanketed western New York State, where local officials say the death toll is expected to rise. The fierce winter storm pummeled large swaths of the United States over the busy Christmas holiday weekend, bringing below average temperatures as far south as the U.S. border with Mexico and knocking out power for as many as 1.8 million people.
An Arctic deep freeze has spread across much of North America, with at least 64 people killed in weather-related incidents. About half have been in Greater Buffalo region. Now, workers are out trying to restore power and checking for anyone still stranded in snow-covered vehicles. And state police and military have been deployed to enforce a driving ban in the city.
I want people to understand there's a lot of roads that are completely blocked right now that have no access whatsoever. And people are trying to drive on these roads or trying to get into these neighborhoods, and they can't. Please, please, you heard the mayor beg, I'm begging, stay home.
And this is the scene right now in Buffalo, where it's -4 degrees. NBC journalist Jesse Kirsch reports now from outside the city's airport.
Might be trying to dig out here, but we've got more snow coming down right now, and you can see just some of what has been pushed aside and piled up behind me here right next to the airport here in Buffalo. That airport is going to stay closed at least until Wednesday morning, and you can see at least in part why. This area has been battered by this brutal cold and this blizzard-like conditions that we've been dealing with in terms of a broad stretch of the country seeing bad winter weather throughout the past few days across the holiday weekend. Here in Buffalo, they got more than 4 feet of snow. Officials in the area blaming the weather for more than 24 deaths, and several more deaths nationally have been attributed to the bad weather that we have been seeing. There is more bad weather on the way being experienced in the Pacific Northwest. The South and Midwest are looking at a warm-up. We're also hopefully going to see some warmer temperatures back here in Buffalo in the days ahead, but clearly still a lot of cleanup ahead for this community that has been hit so hard by what is being called a historic and devastating storm.
Well, in related news, the United States Department of Transportation has said that it plans to examine mass flight cancellations and delays by Southwest Airlines in recent days amid a devastating storm that has disrupted travel plans for millions of Americans during the holiday season. The powerful winter storm resulted in airlines cancelling thousands of flights over the long Christmas weekend.
Passengers have been asked to reschedule flights or make alternative travel arrangements during what is the busiest travel period of the year. As Jesse just said, well, Patty Culhane is at Reagan National Airport in Washington, D.C. And it's transport chaos all the way, isn't it, Patty, whether it be the air, road or rail?
Really, there were no good options because this storm was just so massive. It covered like 80% of the population, and it was all of the things that go into a horrible winter storm. It was snow, it was really high winds that can basically give you whiteout conditions while you're driving, and it was freezing temperatures. It's starting to warm up here, maybe because we're at the airport and so many people are so angry. Now take a look at the board. Not as much red and green as you would have seen at the beginning of the storm just days ago. In all, about 20,000 flights have been canceled since Wednesday. But the reason you're seeing that it looks fairly normal is the airlines, American Airlines, Alaska, Delta. These airlines say that they've canceled between 0 to 2% of their flights since the storm began. The issue is with an airline called Southwest Airlines. It's mostly domestic, and they have just had cascading failures. About 60% of their flights were canceled just today. Now, the Southwest says, look, our main hubs are in Denver and Chicago, and those cities were hit really hard. But others are saying this is because Southwest hasn't invested in its electronic systems and its software. But the Department of Transportation is investigating. So it's going to try and get to the bottom of why most airlines were able to get people there. But for Southwest, nope, not today, not for a while.
No, and of course, weather can be unpredictable at the best of times, Patty, but the general consensus from most predictions is that it's not going to get better even over the next few days.
No, especially not if you're flying Southwest. The CEO of the company said that they're going to be flying just a third of their regularly scheduled flights. He says the problem is all the crews and their planes are in all the wrong places, so they need to try and regroup that. So a lot of very unhappy Southwest fans. And the cleanup is still continuing. It's much warmer and calmer here in Washington, D.C., but as you mentioned, Buffalo, New York. 35 fatalities now in that city and surrounding area. And they said even their emergency vehicles, like fire trucks and ambulances and police cars, they got stuck because, as I mentioned at the top, those whiteout conditions, a lot of cars simply ended up in the snowbanks. And then if you run out of gas, the temperatures were so low that it could quickly turn fatal. So what they're doing now in places like Buffalo and elsewhere that got hit the hardest, they're having to unstick the emergency vehicles and then go from car to see if there are still victims inside.
Well, Russia is continuing its attack on energy infrastructure in Ukraine as 9 million people are now without power.
More heavy fighting at various locations along the eastern front line, perhaps most interestingly around that city of Bakhmut, which has seen some of the most intense battles in recent weeks and months. Some very interesting video that has appeared on Telegram channels that we cannot independently verify, purporting to show Ukrainian soldiers among dozens of dead Russian soldiers. As those videos have appeared, also some very interesting lines coming from pro-Russian channels. These channels advocating that there should be a Russian withdrawal from those positions around Bakhmut because the situation has become so difficult for the Russians. Now, of course, we in no way can independently verify these lines, but still, those videos are shocking. Also, interestingly, the Ukrainian head of the regional military administration of Lugansk, a man called Sergei Gaidai, is saying that Ukrainian forces continue to make progress around the town, or close to the town of Crimea, which is Russian occupied along the Lugansk-Donetsk borders. Now, this was a front line that was established, I suppose, 2.5 months or so ago, after that very successful counter-offensive by the Ukrainians. Ukrainian military now saying that for the first time since then, in the last couple of days, they are beginning to make progress. But as I say, we cannot independently verify these claims. Meanwhile, the electricity crisis across the country continues. President Volodymyr Zelensky last night saying that at least 9 million people were still without reliable electricity and heating as these winter temperatures are expected to plummet in the next couple of weeks or so. We spoke yesterday to the head of the country's national electricity operator. He predicted that these full repairs to their grid system could take years, and that, of course, would be if there wasn't to be more barrages, more attacks in this, what seems to be a Russian campaign targeting energy infrastructure. So, yeah, a lot of people still very cold, living in very dark conditions as this energy crisis across Ukraine continues.
Well, imagine if you can, a mermaid outfit made only of hair. Now you have that image. We'll meet the woman who wore that outfit and who recently won a photo contest. She'll join me at 6:30 when you join me for Morning Barbados today. We'll also meet the brains and the talent behind Murals of St. Lucia. A St. Lucian man who has been doing some phenomenal work capturing the folklore of the Helen of the West will join us to talk about the book and share with us some of his work as well. And then there's a man who is a pastor and a pilot. He takes to the skies, but he also joins me at 6:30 this morning for Morning Barbados to talk about his maiden trip home. Who is he and what's he about? All that and a whole lot more at 6:30 when you join me for Morning Barbados. The morning report continues in just a moment.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
The CBC That Made Us, featuring programming from yesteryear, which impacted the lives of many Barbadians. Join me, Sean Green, taking you back to some of your favorite shows from the late 70s, 80s, and 90s. During the series, The CBC That Made Us, every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. and repeated on Fridays, 11:30 a.m. The CBC That Made Us.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational.
An elderly man missing for 4 days has been found alive. Lionel Gadsby was found last evening in a bushy cow-itch-infested area of Jericho, St. George by police, who along with fire officials rescued him from his ordeal. Several searches had been conducted for Mr. Gadsby since the alarm was raised that he was missing last Friday the 23rd. Our cameraman, Christopher Wood, was on the scene and spoke with David Wood, a member of the search party.
I'm so elated this evening to report that we found Lionel and we found him alive. We never gave up hope. We always believe that as long as there's life, there's hope, and we just kept on looking and kept on going. And this evening we decided to organize one final search. Not a final, but we decided to organize one search, and we came around, all around Jordan, and we went up the hill by the church, and the guy that was with me said, well, let's go down through the development and come down through. And then we came down, we walked the fence. I heard the noise, and I shouted Lionel, and he answered.
Well, fire officers under the command of Wayne Vaughn responded to that call from the Barbados Police Service.
We got the call, as I said, about 16:44, and our first appliance right here at 1700 hours. We were able to secure the patient using the stretcher and Stokes basket, and our personnel was able to get the person here to an area where we consider to be stable, and we're currently awaiting the arrival of the ambulance.
Well, Mr. Gadsby was taken by ambulance to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. Bookings are reportedly up at hotels and restaurants across the island as locals and visitors prepare to ring out the old and welcome in 2023 in 3 days' time. CBC News understands bookings are up all over the country as the countdown has begun for Barbadians getting ready to ring in the new year. Trevor Thorpe reports.
From Bridgetown to Bathsheba, bookings are up as the countdown has started for Barbadians getting ready to ring in the new year. The restaurants at Hilton Barbados Resort are fully booked, and the Director of Operations, Dermot Collins, says an enchanted evening has been planned, and it includes fireworks.
New Year's Eve will be a very, very busy night for us. We have, in the grill restaurant, for example, we have a five-course dinner planned with a dessert buffet as well. In the Lighthouse restaurant, we have a full New Year's Eve gala buffet with sparkling wine and cocktails and live entertainment in each area. And obviously down at La Cabane on the beach, they're doing a New Year's Eve party as well. So as I said, and all that will be followed by the fireworks, the traditional fireworks at midnight. So wonderful, wonderful evening planned, and I think everyone's going to have a great, great time.
The resort official says the welcome mat is in place, and not just for guests, but everyone. According to him, dinner bookings are up in all the restaurants. A five-course menu at Tapas awaits diners on the South Coast, and Managing Director Alfredo Giovanni tells CBC News they are expecting a full house for All Year's Night.
We are ready for roll for All Year's Night. We have a five-course menu for this year, set menu with 5 courses and a glass of champagne. On the boardwalk we get a lot of fireworks, so our guests are enjoying a late dinner and then all the action of the boardwalk. That is, is a peaceful action.
At Hillcrest Community Centre in Bathsheba, St. Joseph, there will be an event dubbed La Noche Perfecta until the sun rises in the east. DJ Straight Up and Black Red tell us more.
We are going to have an event called La Noche Perfecta, which it means the perfect night. And we're going to have loads of entertainment. We're going to have myself Straight Up, we're going to have Black Red, and then we're going to have karaoke by a popular DJ, and also we're going to have loads of giveaways that night.
So the dining choices are many and varied, and they all expect to be fully patronized come Saturday night. Trevor Thorpe, CBC News.
With several significant astrology discoveries and achievements in 2022, there's an expectation for more in 2023.
In 2022, outer space grew clearer, bigger, and a bit safer for the scientists studying it from Earth. In a year of dramatic discoveries, astronomers captured images of the oldest known star, the furthest known planet orbiting another sun, the black hole at the center of our galaxy, and details from the surface of our own sun. The number of people living in space grew. China now has a permanent home in orbit 24 years after the launch of the International Space Station. But But two missions shattered targets. The first, literally. The half-ton DART satellite slammed into a 160-meter-wide asteroid called Dimorphos at 6 kilometers per second. It was a test of an Earth-saving defense system, and it worked. The shimmering debris thrown up by the impact was captured by observatories around our planet. But nothing was as spectacular as the first images from the James Webb Space Telescope.
The edge of time itself.
More than 20 years in the making, 14 years late, the world's largest space-based telescope flew 1.5 million kilometers and looked at a point in the sky smaller than a grain of sand held at arm's length. That grain contained a myriad of stars. Webb's first picture revealed the oldest and furthest objects human eyes have ever seen, ancient galaxies at the visible edge of the universe. Now, these tiny dots of color are helping to fill in the picture of how everything began. The image provoked more questions.
We are looking as far back as currently humanly possible, and that is our goal, is to keep trying to study further and further back so that we can understand better the time in cosmic history that we've only been able to really theorize.
Webb's astronomers spotted water, carbon monoxide, and gases that volcanoes release into atmospheres of planets far beyond our sun. One system orbiting a sun known as TRAPPIST-1 looks tantalizingly similar to our own.
So now we have kind of our first chance at studying another star system that has a bunch of small rocky planets to say, okay, how different are they? What does that mean about their potential supporting life?
And astronomers used Webb to make discoveries much closer to home.
When I saw the first image of Neptune with James Webb Space Telescope, I actually started to cry. I had been waiting for over 30 years to see this planet again like that. What I saw first and foremost was the ring system of Neptune. The last time we had seen it was in 1989 when the Voyager spacecraft flew over the cloud tops of Neptune.
In 2023, Webb will study hundreds of new targets and probes will reach new asteroids. That's as India aims for a lunar landing and Europe plans a mission to the icy moons of Jupiter.
To sports now, Tashawn Hazelwood aboard Jocular won the featured race 8 at the Diamonds International Crown of Light Race Day at the Garrison Savannah. It was the Robert J. Bourke Stakes and Trophy Grade 1 event for West Indian bred 3 years and up.
They're racing. A little bit of bumping, but Jocular is the one who's going to come on to the main course in front. Disputing this lead is Sir Jimmy. So it's Jocular and Sir Jimmy, both of them very aggressive from the gate. There's a break of about 2 lengths before we get to Brilliant News. A length and a half behind these is Shane Doan. Then there's Illyria with a circuit to go. Inspired Adventure is the back marker. As they round the paddock bend and head towards a 5 furlong marker. And the leader is Jocular. In front by 2.5 lengths from Sir Jimmy. 2.5 or 3 lengths before we get to Brilliant News. Another 3 back to Shane Doan and Illyria. Inspired Adventure is the back marker. The opening quarter, 24-4 as they go towards the half-mile pole. The leader, Jocular, opening up by 3 lengths from Sir Jimmy. Then there's a break of 3 before we get to Brilliant News. The outside of Brilliant News is Illyria. Then behind Illyria is Shane Doan. Inspired Adventure yet to begin his late run. Half in 48-3. They've got 3 furlongs to go. And Jocular continues to lead in front by 2 from Sir Jimmy. Another length and a half away before we get to Brilliant News. 3 back to Illyria. Inspired Adventure as Shane Doan has had enough. As they come inside the quarter pole, and the leader is Jocular. He's in front by a length and a half. On the outside, here's Brilliant News with a ground run, and there are no more turns in the Robert Bourke. And on the inside, it is Jocular. On the outside, here's Inspired Adventure rattling home. Brilliant News between horses. It's Jocular and Brilliant News. Jocular and Brilliant News. Jocular and Brilliant News. Jocular is going to get a horse. Jocular wins it. And Brilliant News. Inspired Adventure is third. Illyria rounds out the top 4. Then with Sir Jimmy, the last one home was Shane Doan. The winner came home in 1:35-4.
All right, let's take a look at forecast conditions now as recorded earlier at the Met Office of the Grantley Adams International Airport. At the moment, Barbados under cloudy skies with light showers and a slight haze, 23.3 degrees Celsius, and the winds are coming from the east at 37 kilometers an hour. If you're heading to the beach today, a low tide is scheduled for 11 to 2 this afternoon. We have a high tide at 5 minutes after 8 this morning and a second one at 4 minutes to 8 tonight. Seas today are predicted to be moderate to rough in open water, swells ranging from 2.5 to 3.5 meters and increasing. In the forecast for Barbados today, cloudy at times with occasional scattered light to heavy showers and a low chance of isolated thunderstorms. That's for today. For tonight, the forecast mostly cloudy with clear breaks with the occasional brief scattered light to moderate shower. Here's a look at some forecast conditions now for international cities. And that's it for the CBC Morning Report today. I'm Pearson Bowen. Morning Barbados starts now.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning, Barbados, good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Morning to you, morning, everyone. It is Wednesday the 28th of December. I hope you'd had a marvelous Christmas weekend indeed. The time went by so quickly, didn't it? Didn't it? I agree with you. I'm Pearson Bowen, welcoming you everywhere. Thank you so much for waking up to keep company with us here at Morning Barbados and for joining us on our streams on YouTube and on Facebook. As always, thank you for interacting with us indeed. And here's hoping that you are looking forward to the start of a new year, as we here are equally looking forward to it with you. Now, coming up today, yes, I'll give you some chances today to unscramble some letters. No, we're not done with that. We're not done with that at all. So stand by for that opportunity. More Christmassy words, so more Christmassy opportunities for you and I to have some fun. That's coming up today. Also, speaking of fun, we're going to be sharing once again with that family fun day at Codrington Stables, a chance to ride the chariot, so to speak, ride some horses, have a really good time. The details we'll share with you this morning. This morning also, we'll meet a man who is a pastor and a pilot. And so for him, his best place to work is that place we envy most. I certainly do, from the skies. But he just recently made his maiden trip home. We'll talk to him. Where did he travel to? We'll share with you in just a little while. We'll also meet this morning the man behind the book Murals of St. Lucia. He will join us this morning as he shares with us some of the things that he's been able to document in mural form and why he's doing it in the first place, and then how this book can now really move from the mural to the page to you. He'll talk to us a little bit more about that coming up in just a while. But I want to get started this morning by meeting this person who wore a mermaid outfit made of hair. I know, for you, like me, it sounds a little bit odd, right? But it happened, and she designed it rather, and she was recently a winner in a photo competition. So the designer of this mermaid outfit made of hair joins me now. Her name is Alicia Aline Light. Alicia, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Listen, you have everybody stunned. Like what? What is this mermaid outfit made of hair? Talk to me a little bit about your concept right there.
Well, my concept is fantasy. I always love fantasy from a young girl. So I always say anytime I enter online competitions, everything would be about fantasy.
Wow.
So this mermaid outfit came out the other day and I didn't even know where to start. I just started and I got...
So a mermaid, and this mermaid outfit was not made for a tiny mermaid. This was made for a full-fledged woman mermaid. That must have taken a lot of hair.
Yes, it did actually.
So how much hair do you do it in terms of feet, or I don't know how you measured it here now. How much hair did you use to make this mermaid outfit?
So, we would say we will measure it in caps of hair. I use over 10 caps of hair.
Wow.
To make this mermaid outfit. Yes.
Well, and this is the kind of hair that the ladies will go to the salon to have applied, right? That kind of hair. What was it able to be? Yeah. And is this the outfit that you won the photo contest with?
Yes, please.
All
It's an
of
online debut. Online debut hair show competition. So this is like the third time I entered.
Wow. And everything, so there was no base of fabric and then you applied here? It was all here, right from start to finish?
No, it was all here. No base of fabric, nothing like that. All here.
Because I'm trying to figure out how you fit it to the body. I mean, here is supple, but at the same time, you know, how do you get enough hair to cover enough spots so that she's still be able to be, you know, exercise her prudence?
Well, it's true, because when I first made this, I never made clothes. So making something to fit someone's body, you have to think of, like, I need a worker. So I had to check her measurements. And I went from there, and it just came together.
But you're a stylist, aren't you?
Yes, please, I am. I'm a natural hair stylist and braider.
So there you are now as a stylist, and now you've almost. Would you do this again? Would you make another outfit of hair?
I would make another outfit every month if I could. That's just a passion of mine now.
So now the bug has bitten. This is what you don't mind doing at all now, right?
I don't. Nothing at all.
So there was this bijou competition that you entered. How did you hear about the competition?
Well, I heard about it through a friend. She had told me about it, and I said, okay, I would try it, because in 2017, for the first very time, I entered a Supreme hair competition. That's another brand here. And I was like, what you made? I never made anything out of hair. And I just made this Red Riding Hood cake. And everybody was floored. I didn't play for anything, but I was amazed at what I did.
So every day you amaze yourself. It sounds like as if, you know, hey, I'm discovering things that are new about me all the time. Would that be a fair description?
Yes, please. That would be a fair description, a very fair one.
So there was, you entered this competition by Bijou, and they called you up and said you are the winner. How did you find out that you were the winner? By telephone, by email, how?
Well, they WhatsApp you, they email you, they make sure you get the message. But yes, they do. They advertise it on Facebook, everywhere.
So you found out that you were the winner, and what was your first reaction?
At first, it was like, really? I didn't jump up with that excitement, I guess, because it didn't hit me. You see what I'm saying? Because I entered, and I came second twice. The first 2 times I entered. And it was like, this girl that coming first all this time, and they can't come first. And that's why I was
Here it is now. You came first. You won it. Was this an international competition, or was it strictly local?
It was a Caribbean. It was for Caribbean countries. All Caribbean countries.
So that makes it even sweeter now that you beat out the rest from across the region indeed. Do you know how many other people entered it with you?
So much. There was Haiti, there was Guyana, there was Grenada, Trinidad, and Tobago. It was a lot of Caribbean countries, and most of their work was great too as well. I admire everyone's work too.
So now that you have this fame, I hope you're ready to up your game to respond to all the orders that will be coming your way now that we know that you can actually make outfits from hair.
Oh, yes, please. I also have a page on IG on its own, named Fantasy Hair by Red Ruby, where I create hair pieces and stuff for birthday suits. And you can also write the outfits if you want to do a photo shoot or anything like that.
Now, the outfit that we see on the screen, was it heavy to wear? Was it heavy? You know, after when hair gets wet, it gets heavy. So was it heavy to wear?
Oh my gosh, when we were doing the photo shoot and she entered the water, the seawater just baked down. And it's literally heavy on its own before it got wet. But she carried it so well.
Wow. Yeah, she was brave enough to carry it so well. So now that you've got this under your belt, what's next for you, Alicia? What do you think you'd want to challenge yourself to do next?
Yeah, I would love to challenge myself to leave Barbados and find my horizon. You know, I get a bit more.
Yeah. So what are you doing to do so, to achieve that?
Well, I'm working on it. Well, I haven't had my passport yet, so I have to work on that if I want to get
Yes.
further.
Yes.
So as years start, I'm going to do more. I'm going to be more creative. Every competition I can get myself into, I will enter.
Is there anywhere in the world you'd like to go to be able to apply your craft or to expand your talent?
Yes, I would love to go to New Jersey.
Really? Why?
Yeah,
Why
New
there?
Jersey. Because they have a lot of hair shows in states too as well, not just in Jersey, but in states. They have a lot of hair shows that I think that I'll be able to enter.
Well, you have your eyes set on the prize indeed, and you're doing so well. And so winning this photo contest by Bijou, now you're being published all over the world on their platform. And so no doubt the audience, so if anyone is watching today and they're saying, I don't mind having an outfit made by her, how can they contact you?
Well, they will contact me through my IG pages, like
Which
Ruby
is?
Salon Mixes by Ruby Salon, or Fantasy by Red Ruby, which is the original page for the fantasy outfit. Or they can call me at 821-1460.
So say that number again.
821
Yes.
146.
821-1460 is the number to call for Alicia Alling Light. She's a natural hairstylist. And so as a natural hairstylist, you know that deal with all sorts of kinky hair and that kind of thing. How do you manage day by day to be able to understand the hair texture and then be able to understand how to deal with it?
Well, yes, everybody has different hair textures, and more Bajans are becoming natural. Like around this Christmas, it was so busy, and I realized almost everyone that came to hair was natural, and natural is a little more tedious. You have to
Yes.
take your time braiding natural hair. It's a little more tedious, but yeah, those hair textures they're amazing, and some of them can be really tough.
I don't think that, oftentimes when you hear women would say, I go in natural because it's easier to maintain. And you're saying that natural can be a little bit more tedious. What makes it even more tedious?
Because the texture of natural hair is more kinky. So it's more, it take longer to comb it out, to part it, to make it into a braid. Versus as a relaxed hair is straight, so it's easier to be dealt with.
Okay. Well, girl, I want to commend you really for being able to be so clever and so crafty to be able to get that outfit, that mermaid outfit done in here. Tons of hair, but you got it done. And now you have set yourself the challenge of wanting to move into other spaces to explore different avenues of your craft. I really hope that people really can support you in this. And for those of you watching who want to have your own outfit crafted by Alicia Anning Light, you can call her on 821-1460. 821-1460. She is Barbadian. She's ours. She's clever. She's very, very good at what she does. And she's a winner of the Bijou photo contest indeed. And we claim you as our own indeed. All the very best for 2023 to you, Alicia. And congratulations on your recent achievement. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much also.
You're welcome. You're welcome indeed. We'll take a break right here on Morning Barbados, and we're coming back with more in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
14 and a half minutes now to go to the hour of 7 o'clock. This is Wednesday morning. Don't get confused. It is Wednesday morning. Don't question yourself as to what day it is or what time it is. Just get up and get going. For those of you who are back into the work routine from today, get up, get going. Don't question it. Hope you had a wonderful Christmas indeed. You're fully rested and you're ready to take on what else the world has to offer and today has to offer as well. This young man studied art and he has been able to now use his craft to craft a book. But he's doing it beautifully across his island, St. Lucia, his Helen of the West. Naja Simeon is the author of the book Murals of St. Lucia. Good morning to you, Naja.
Good morning, good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us today. You do murals. Mural art really is your thing, but you've also been known in your homeland of St. Lucia as the man who does all these murals all over the place. So tell me a little bit about what got you involved and interested in painting murals.
Well, it's a long story, but let me just condense it for you. So I came back to Ireland from art school and there was nowhere to show my galleries. So there were no galleries, okay? So I started something called the outdoor gallery because I couldn't get into any of the galleries. And that's how the mural painting started. It started in schools and small community projects, and now it have expanded all over the islands to over 60 murals in the past 5 years.
That's fantastic. And so there are oftentimes people paint on canvas and they're happy with that, but you choose to look for some spaces that cause us to stop for just a moment and take another look. What are some of the places? Do you do your mural on stone? Do you do it on wood? How do you present it?
I have a saying. It's called paint where it ain't. So any surface that I can paint on, I will. So I've painted on stone walls, concrete walls, plywood, metal, any surface that is available to me, I would paint on.
How do you deal with people who hold a perception that, how do you deal with the people who have the perception that murals are just like graffiti and that equals mess? How do you deal with that perception?
Well, St. Lucia, we don't really have that problem of graffiti. But people just see it as art in public space, art in outdoors. I think the street art train kind of missed St. Lucia, so now it's just art.
Mm-hmm. But you're taking the time, I'm told, also to, while you're doing your murals, to capture the folklore of St. Lucia. Why do you think it's important to do so?
Well, you know, at art school, one of the sayings that I always remember is your artwork is supposed to make people think. And if it doesn't make people think, then it's just decoration. So after I started, you know, making the place look good, then the second job was to kind of share a story and keeping with my heritage of Arawaks and Caribs and the way they did their drawings on rocks and these petroglyphs. I just wanted to continue that kind of storytelling on walls, like modern day petroglyphs.
And so far, what's been the response to that as you're making people think and to have a conversation? What are they saying?
I mean, they say all sorts, but that's the point. You don't know what people will say, and your art is ephemeral. So you put it out there, and whatever people say, they say. Some people will like it, some people have questions, some people say, oh, it's too simple, let's make it more detailed. Some people want their faces up there, which is important, but interaction is good interaction.
But that excites you because it challenges you to also be able to broaden what it is that you want to offer as well. But you've moved now from doing just murals alone. You've done the book, Murals of St. Lucia. Talk to me about moving it now onto the page of books. Why did you leap in that way?
Well, you know, being an educator from the age of 17, I've been teaching in schools, qualified art teacher in this in St. Lucia, so I'm always around books. But this really came about when people wanted to join in painting my murals, but they couldn't really, you know, get out there and paint murals. Random, wake up in the morning. I remember there's a wall, it gets some paint, so it's not really planned. So the book is a way that people can help or people can join in the fun of painting a mural. And every drawing is from an actual mural in St. Lucia.
And you're saying in this coloring book, if I turn the pages of the book, I can now apply my own color to what I think I would best depict what it is that is there.
Yeah, so you can create your own artwork, but based on line drawings from murals that are in St. Lucia. Go discover these murals, take a selfie and share it, you know, make it fun.
Response so far to the book and people actually using it to show their own skill sets.
Yeah, the response has been amazing, both adults and children buying out the books, visitors, because I do art classes and at some resorts, so they want the book. Children are buying the book, the locals want the book, they want it autographed. So since the book was released December, everyone is buying it off Amazon. It's not yet available on island because of the Christmas rush, you know, shipping logistics and so on, but it will be soon, January, very soon, and maybe I have to send some over to Barbados.
That's fantastic to hear. I'm glad it's such a success. Your decision, how do you decide the surface on which to do your murals? I'll ask that for a reason because, you know, you can go by, you see a piece of sheetrock and you thought, oh, well, that's not interesting. But you turn the corner, you see something else that pops out at you and you make a decision to do that one. How do you determine which one you use to do what?
Really, sometimes the clients just say, okay, I have a wall, change it. Then I actually accept the challenge. So it could be smooth sheetrock surface, it could be wood, or it could be a mixture of both. I have painted a mural that has 3 different surfaces, so it's just a challenge for me, and I enjoy the challenge.
You just love the challenge. You just love the challenge. How are you seeing more and more St. Lucian, younger St. Lucians getting involved in creating murals about the place?
Definitely have seen that, and I really appreciate it. And you know, other people see murals and like, hey, Naja, there's another artist murals, and I'm like, yes, that's what I want to see. I want the outdoor movement, you know, to grow in St. Lucia. I can't be the only person doing murals, and I'm glad that I have inspired other young people to do the same.
Wow. The ones that we shared, I want our producer to show it again. You know, they're very, very colorful and they're very eye-catching. And so for you, working in the medium in which you work here, the color, the choice of colors and so forth, why did you choose to do so and not keep it as muted as you possibly could have? Why are you using these kinds of colors?
All right, there's another explanation for that. Okay, so actually I was trained as a classical painter, oil painting in very muted colors and earth tone. But when I moved to the Caribbean, the light is completely different. I mean, I'm from St. Lucia, but when I moved back, so what happened is the color in the Caribbean is so different. And then the people use a lot of colors. And if I paint a mural doors, you only have a few seconds to driving by the state. I wanted to use the brightest colors and black outlines, very simple shapes. So it's eye-catching. So you stop and then you check out, you know, what the mural is about.
Wow. And you know, there's a rhythm to how we speak, there's a rhythm to how we move, there's a rhythm to everything we do in the region. And so being able to capture that rhythm with the kind of energy behind that particular rhythm, you must take time, no doubt, to just sit sometimes and observe. Do you find yourself doing that quite often, just watching people and watching how it goes?
Ever since I was a kid, it was a problem. And I always stopping and staring at stuff. But now it's just then you're able to use it in your creative process. So I always do that. I spend long hours sitting, meditating, maybe 5 hours. So I do observe a lot.
So for any parent who's watching who is thinking, this child is just messing up my walls, this child is just wasting paper, this child needs to get themselves employed with something far more meaningful other than art.
Exactly.
What do you say to that parent?
It's exactly what my grandmother sounded like. But it's my biggest mistake. But I think you should let the kids be creative. Being creative is one of the most important things you can do because it helps your brain develop both hemispheres. I'm talking from a teacher point of view. So being creative really unlocks the potential of every child's brain. So having them get a coloring book, get some crayons or watercolor, and spend some alone time discovering themselves is the best thing you can do.
I'm glad you said that because, we misunderstand what that is, the discipline that comes from it and how they're able to, like you said, unlock their brain and their creativity and what flows will be surprising to the receiver of that particular art form. And so encouraging more and more people to be able to do so is so very important. Our commenters on our social media are already congratulating you for the vivid work that you're creating there in St. Lucia. And so, we Barbados, we support our people of the Caribbean as well. So the book is called Murals of St. Lucia. How can people get copies of the book? This is a coloring book, folks. How can people get copies of it?
Murals of St. Lucia is available on Amazon, both everywhere that Amazon is available. You just type in Murals of St. Lucia or type in my name, Naja Simeon, and it's available for $14.99 on Amazon, and they have next day shipping if you have Amazon Prime. So go ahead and get that book.
Get the book, Murals of St. Lucia, Naja Simeon. Have you given thought to book number 2, book number 3, book number 10? Have you seen it down the road that far?
It's already in the making, okay? So book number 2, second edition, it's already been worked on because, as I said, I was 60 murals and growing every weekend. So this book only has about 20 murals in it. So I have another 2 editions to put out. And then, being an art teacher for so many years, I will also put out a book about how to draw, learning how to draw. Because I've read so many books as a kid about how to draw, but none of them was from a European perspective. So that is something I really want to put out there.
You're doing so very well, Naja Simeon, so very well, and you're just next door to us here in Barbados. I really hope that as neighbors we're able to support you, and I want Bajans indeed to really go onto Amazon, look for the book Murals of St. Lucia or Naja Simeon, and you support his work indeed. It's a coloring book, is good for any age and at any stage indeed. Even old as I am, I can probably want to try my hand at it as well to color between the lines, because that's how you've done it. You've sketched it. All that I do now is use the way I see it and color between the lines. And from that, who knows, I could be the next big artist of the world indeed to challenge you, Naja. But nonetheless, we're looking for books 2, 3, and 4 and more coming from you from the beautiful Helling of the West. I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning, Naja. It's a pleasure meeting you. We wish you the absolute best, and we hope that you continue to beautify the spaces in our Caribbean as well, and that we can all benefit from the energy that you bring to the art space as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. His name is Naja Simeon. He is a muralist. He is an artist. He's the author of the book Murals of St. Lucia. The book is available on Amazon. Look for it by name or look for his name, and you can purchase the book right there. He says it's less than $15 US, but it's a good coloring book for the child. It's a good coloring book also for the adult. So I urge you to really get a hand on it as soon as possible. We'll take a break right here. We're coming back with more on Morning Barbados.
Asks, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Think before you click, Patrons, think before you click. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's 7 o'clock. Let's catch you up on the news now. There's a worldwide expectation that oil prices will be going up early in the new year. This after Russian President Vladimir Putin issued a decree yesterday that bans oil sales to countries and companies that comply with a price cap agreed to by Western countries in response to Moscow's invasion of Ukraine. Moscow gave its long-awaited response to the price cap, banning the supply of crude oil and oil products from February the 1st for 5 months to nations that abide by the cap. Well, CBC News spoke with economist Jeremy Stevens, who says it is a wait and see on how this latest development will impact Barbados.
There is a lot of talk about global pressures for the price of oil and refined petroleum products to increase, at least going into the new year, particularly on a number of grounds of interest at this point right now is the idea, or rather the initiative by Putin from February to begin cutting his supply of exports in retaliation or in reaction to the fact that the G7 has been trying its best, or has tried its best, to squeeze Putin's ability to engage in Ukraine, the war in Ukraine, on the grounds of him having massive exports normally of oil, therefore funding his war efforts. And they've capped the price as a result. So this is his retaliation, but, you know, as it stands, where we are concerned in Barbados generally has to do with the signaling or the price of oil and refined petroleum products regarding OPEC, our main importers, our main trade partners with respect to oil are not OPEC related, but they do take signaling measures from them. In other words, they look at what OPEC is going to sell for.
Mr. Stevens says it all comes down to how OPEC will respond. They may see the cut in supply as grounds to raise prices.
If Russia, as the second largest exporter of crude oil products, is going to cut their supply, it signals a smaller supply available for the global market, and therefore OPEC may react by also cutting their own supply, given that the price of oil has been contained for so long. Now, well, not so long, but over the last year, there's been some massive efforts to contain a massive increase in oil prices, particularly. So with us here now, we just have to wait in Barbados to see what OPEC does, and then in retaliation, or in response, what the United States of America will do, along with other trading partners such as the Netherlands and Trinidad and Tobago to a lesser extent, to see what they're going to do, and Guyana when it comes to refined petroleum products. So, crude petroleum products.
The economist adds that he does believe there will be a rise in prices, but it won't be sustained for too long.
It's clear that Putin has made a lot of money, and he's then able to probably support his war efforts for the 5 months or thereabouts that he's expecting to cut supply of oil exports. You know, should the campaign be unsuccessful, you would see him revoking that initiative sooner, or rescinding that initiative sooner rather than later.
An elderly man missing for 4 days has been found alive. Lionel Gadsby was found last evening in a bushy, cow itch-infested area of Jericho, St. George by police, who along with fire officials rescued him from his ordeal. Several searches had been conducted for Mr. Gadsby since the alarm was raised that he was missing last Friday the 23rd. Our cameraman, Christopher Wood, was on the scene and he spoke to a member of the search party.
I'm so elated this evening to report that we found Lionel and we found him alive. We never gave up hope. We always believe that as long as there's life, there's hope, and we just kept on looking and kept on going. And this evening we decided to organize one final search. Not a final, but we decided to organize one search, and we came around, all around Jordan, and we went up the hill by the church, and the guy that was with me said, well, let's go down through the development and come down through. And then we came down, we walked the fence. I heard the noise, and I shouted Lionel, and he answered.
Well, fire officers under the command of Wayne Vaughn responded to the call from the Barbados Police Service.
We got the call, as I said, about 16:44, and our first appliance right here at 1700 hours. We were able to secure the patient using the stretcher and Stokes basket, and our personnel was able to get the person here to an area where we consider to be stable, and we're currently awaiting the arrival of the ambulance.
Mr. Gadsby was taken by ambulance to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. Well, bookings are reportedly up at the hotels and restaurants across the island as locals and visitors prepare to ring out the old and welcome in 2023 in 3 days' time. CBC News understands bookings are up all over the country as the countdown has begun for Barbadians getting ready to ring in the new year. Trevor Thorpe reports.
From Bridgetown to Bathsheba, bookings are up as the countdown has started for Barbadians getting ready to ring in the new year. The restaurants at Hilton Barbados Resort are fully booked, and the Director of Operations, Dermot Collins, says an enchanted evening has been planned, and it includes fireworks.
New Year's Eve will be a very, very busy night for us. We have, in the grill restaurant, for example, we have a five-course dinner planned with a dessert buffet as well. In the Lighthouse restaurant, we have a full New Year's Eve gala buffet with sparkling wine and cocktails and live entertainment in each area. And obviously down at La Cabane on the beach, they're doing a New Year's Eve party as well. So as I said, and all that will be followed by the fireworks, the traditional fireworks at midnight. So wonderful, wonderful evening planned, and I think everyone's going to have a great time.
The resort official says the welcome mat is in place, and not just for guests, but everyone. According to him, dinner bookings are up in all the restaurants. A five-course menu at Tapas awaits diners on the South Coast, and Managing Director Alfredo Giovanni tells CBC News they are expecting a full house for All Year's Night.
We are ready for roll for All Year's Night. We have a five-course menu for this year, set menu with 5 courses and a glass of champagne. On the boardwalk we get a lot of fireworks, so our guests are enjoying a late dinner and then all the action of the boardwalk. That is, is a peaceful action.
At Hillcrest Community Center in Bathsheba, St. Joseph, there will be an event dubbed La Noche Perfecta until the sun rises in the east. DJ Straight Up and Black Red tell us more.
We are going to have an event called La Noche Perfecta, which it means the perfect night. And we're going to have loads of entertainment. We're going to have myself Straight Up, we're going to have Black Red, and then we're going to have karaoke by a popular DJ, and also we're going to have loads of giveaways that night.
So the dining choices are many and varied, and they all expect to be fully patronized come Saturday night. Trevor Thorpe, CBC News.
Thank you, Trevor. That's our news until now. We'll have more news coming up at 12 noon right here on TV8. We'll take a break here. We're back with Morning Barbados in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
10.5 minutes after the hour of 7 o'clock. We started this morning talking about the mermaid and the mermaid outfit. Now we're talking about being a prince or princess. You're taking a carriage ride, perhaps. That's because there's a free family fun day at the Codrington Stables. Joining us as we look again at this as we get ready for Old Year's Night and Old Year's Day and New Year's as well is Patrick Crooney, who is the owner and director of Codrington Riding Stables. With him again is Albert Shepper, who is the marketing and business development manager at the stables as well. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Howdy, partners. The gentlemen are wearing the cowboy hats. I love it. I love it. Listen, how was Christmas for you guys?
It was Christmas was fantastic. I think both of us had a great family time, and that's
yes.
As I think we both needed a little bit of that, and I think all of Barbados needed a little bit of family and community time. So we enjoyed that, but we also enjoyed bringing some of our class of horse and carriage ride to some of the guests on islands, because we were at Hilton Hotel for Christmas Day, and we were able to bring Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus up the hill to Hilton and have families and kids there thoroughly enjoy. You know, having Santa being brought up to Hilton on horse and carriage. So we truly had a fine moment on Christmas Day with that.
I can imagine the spectacle, I can imagine the surprise, I can imagine the photographs, I can imagine all of that right away. To just have the hooves, you hear the hooves, you hear the wheels roll, and you see what's possible indeed. And that's what you guys... Say it again?
We also have the bells to go with it. Ching, ching, ching. You know, you hear Christmas, you hear those bells?
Nice.
Do the ching. Great.
Yeah.
Also the bells as well. Yes.
Nice. And that's just a taste of what's coming up Old Year's, right? So let's talk a little bit of what's the next big event at Codrington Stables, this big family fun day. A great opportunity for everyone of every age to come join you there just next to the Botanical Gardens. What's happening?
Well, that's the culmination of our year, and of course the culmination on the end of what we hope to be, difficult times for Barbados and Barbadians.
Yes.
So we want people to come out that day and say, hey, this is a day we should celebrate. This is a day we should give thanks for having gotten through it, for having gotten to this period, for having had a wonderful Christmas even, and for the outlook that we are hearing, at Hilton and hotels and at restaurants and at properties. All of these are things we should be thankful for. So we really want people to come together at Codrington Riding Stables. We're right here at Waterford, right next to the National Botanical Gardens. We want people to come together and bring out their picnic baskets, come with your coolers, come with your picnic blankets. We're going to have a great musical vibe. Definitely we're going to have lots for the kids to do. So, if you have kids, absolutely bring them out so they can enjoy some outdoor time, some adventure. Some adventure, and of course feel free to come and enjoy some of the class of riding and horse and carriage, because it's definitely a classy thing. Let's put it this way: our horse and carriage is our Rolls Royce. Absolutely. Absolutely, that is how we feel about it. It is our Rolls Royce limousine, our horse and carriage, and we even think it's even better.
Yes. I so agree with you. This is all happening, by the way, folks, on Saturday the 31st, this coming weekend. Look at that. Look at that. Look at the Rolls Royce on your TV, if you please. Horse-powered, engine-driven. This is fantastic. And so... Yeah, man. And so we get a chance to sit in there and we ride the time of our life. We get to live a moment that so many other people across the world envy us for. And so we can have that moment right there with the family, children, by ourselves if we have to, with the workmates, with colleagues, with everybody. You come on down because it's a big activity and it's free for everyone to enjoy. And we come down to the stables from 10 o'clock in the morning, right?
That's right. That's right.
So we're going to spend the whole day there. The whole day there. It's a whole day picnic.
That's the idea.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, the whole day there with everybody. You bring your own food, your lunch, your picnic basket, because the botanical gardens are so spectacular. And while you're there, you can browse the gardens as well. But you're spending so much time at the stable. Who has time to browse the gardens? You're going to be enjoying what's happening there. The children will enjoy the jumping tent. Talk to me a little bit about some of the other activities that will be there for the children to do on Saturday.
You also have, like, the horseshoe. There has a game with the horseshoes where you can throw the horseshoes.
Yes.
And have some fun, and you have a lot of other games. But obviously for those they just have the dominoes and the draft.
Yes.
You want to knock some dominoes or some draft. And then we got some other little plans that we have not molded as yet. But
Surprises for the day. Surprises for the day. Yes, the jumping tent will be up. We have our own playground and our stables. The National Botanical Gardens is absolutely gorgeously maintained and looked after. And as a result, our stables and our stable area is just as impeccably maintained. Some of these pictures are actually showing, some of our corrals and our areas. So the surrounds and the nature around us is complementary to the National Botanical Gardens. So we want people to come out and feel that. And hey, there was a stable story that occurred over Christmas.
Yes.
So being around the stables at this time of year makes a lot of sense.
There's room at that inn for you. I love it. You fellas are something else. But if you've never ridden a horse, and by the way, one of our commenters is saying, Vereen Walker, she says, Pearson, tell them I'm coming for a ride on the horse. Vereen, show up and have your ride on the horse. I want to show up too, because a lot of us have never ridden a horse. We look at it, from the garrison, and we think, oh, those are spectacular animals. Let them do their thing. But here it is. They're so gentle at the Codrington Riding Stables. You get to learn how to handle that wonderful beast. And so anyone who's never ridden a horse, you get a chance to sit on its back today and gently go, and it takes off, and you just have a good time. That's what it's about. Experience the animal for the very first time, get into the carriage for the very first time, and get to love it. Bring the children down. Children are going to love this as much as the adult. And I really want the whole family. I agree with you. Look at that. Look. A child making me look small, sitting on the back of a horse. I have never done it. I have never done it, seriously. But here it is, and clearly the horse is gentle enough because it's been acclimatized to this, and it will be very gentle with you. So, sweet. I can't imagine what else to do on Saturday other than to come to Codrington Stables.
Vision experience.
That's how we feel.
Yes. It will be the vision
and
experience.
Speaking about horses and experiences, most people have seen horses, most people have been to the garrison, but I can tell you this, the horse which pulls our carriage, from when you see people react to when they see jazz, it is quite clearly they had no idea that there exists a horse that and one that exists in Barbados, because jazz surprises even the experienced track goer,
right?
Because he is such an immense creature. I mean, one of his feet probably over a foot long and a foot wide. He's truly an immense horse. I'm probably 5'10", and my head only goes to his shoulder. So given the response that we had from kids over Christmas, who absolutely loved him, because yes, all of our horses are calm and are friendly. Yeah. And of course, when you see one that is the size of a mountain, and he is similarly calm and friendly, it has a great impact on both children and adults, and he is just part of our lovely offering at Codrington. So we surely hope you come out and get to experience how wonderful it is to pat a gentle giant.
Yeah.
That's who pulls our carriage.
A Bajan New Yorker is saying, love this, Bako, thank you so much. But that's what it's about, folks. If you have never discovered it, we got to discover it. We have to. Don't wait for someone else to tell us about it. Discover it for yourself by coming to Codrington College this Saturday the 31st.
It's Codrington Stable, not Codrington College.
Father, forgive me. Father, forgive me, cowboys. Forgive me. Codrington Stables. Thank you so much there in Waterford, across the street from the Combermere School. And you are in that perfect spot, really and truly, to get to know, get close to horses, get the carriage ride. Look, Wonderful, wonderful carriage ride right there. You can't miss it. It's going to be fantastic from 10 in the morning until 5:30 in the afternoon, but you can stay on if you choose to stay on. Bring the family, bring your picnic baskets, bring your blankets, bring your everything. Get to experience, get close up. Indeed. Gentlemen, I can't wait to put on my clothes and come down the road indeed. Someone asked, by the way, are you opening all year round? Are you opened all year round? What do you say?
Yes, we are from Monday to Saturday. Except we do on Sundays as well. Yeah.
So the answer is we're open 6 days a week from 9 in the morning, and of course we offer rides and classes. So if you want to bring if you brought your kids and they've had a ride on Saturday and they enjoy to go around, they may be interested in learning a bit more. We're not just about a little bit of fun on a horse at Codrington, because we absolutely want persons who are interested to turn their experience and knowledge up. So we have the ability to provide training for those who want to take their horse riding skills to the next level. So yeah, we're absolutely open 7 days a week, and we offer 1 hour horse rides right around the botanical gardens for everyone from absolute novices to advanced riders.
Patrick, I see you reading this. Someone's asking for the contact number. I saw you reading. Your lips were moving. Marcia Henry Chase is asking for the number. What number can people call to get to book one of these riding classes or any of this experience?
Yeah. Okay, so the number is 429-8227, 429-8227. Or you can call me direct from cell to cell, 231-1605, 231-1605.
I got it.
This special that we're going for today, for Friday. This is only for Friday, so
on Saturday.
For Saturday. Last month stuff happens Saturday. But again, as I said, we do the botanical garden 101 and the tours, and we're going special on that as well. But we want to encourage people to bring the visitors who come to the island, let them experience the Bajan experience right at Codrington, because they're known for the best riders in Canada and all over the world. And so our youngsters want to ride professionally. Some of them would have learned at our stables as well.
That's right.
Wow.
Actually, some of them are back home from Canada right now. And so, it's good to have these guys back home. But long and short is that, come and experience this Bajan experience right here at the Botanic Gardens at Codrington Riding Stable is going to be awesome.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
What a way to say it. What a way to say it's going to be awesome. So thank you so much, gentlemen, as well. I tip my hats to you, and I wish everybody really truly comes out on Saturday to experience what truly will be a magical moment, a big free family fun day at Codrington Stables in Waterford, St. Michael, indeed, from 10 in the morning till 5:30 free. And once you get there, we can start talking about how we get on the horses and so on. Thank you so much. All the best indeed.
Thank you so much, Pearson.
You're welcome.
Wonderful day.
You're welcome indeed. Likewise. Patrick Croney, who is the owner-director of Codrington Stables, with him Albert Shepper, who is the marketing and business development manager there. Gentlemen, thank you. And folks, that's where we're going on Saturday, right? For that free family fun day to engage with the horses. If you want to place a booking, you can call them on 429-8227 or 231-1605. We're taking a break right here. We're coming back with more in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Think before you click. Pigeons, think before you click. Don't forget now. Before you spread wrong information, think before you click. Just stop and think. Think before you click. Think before you click. If you can't confirm the source of the information, think before you click. When friends send news to your phone, check the source or leave it alone. Cause people creating fake news to deceive you and confuse. Alright yo, accident broadcast on WhatsApp. Check yourself, don't forward that. Have respect for the victim's family. You would not share family like that. Think before you click. Agents, think before you click. Don't forget now. Before you spread wrong information, think before you click. Just stop and think. Think before you click. Think before you click. If you can't confirm the source of the information, think before you click.
Because you love English Premier League, MCTV has got it back. Now you can watch all the games of the English Premier League plus UEFA and NFL on MCTV. Current customers can upgrade to Max Pack Extra at just $23. Call MCTV today at 228-6288 to upgrade or come in and sign up for a new service. Football fans, let MCTV get you back in the game.
It's the event to end the year. Q in the Community presents Q Dance. This Old Year's night at Highgate Bar, Dash Valley, St. George. Watch the fireworks, dance under the stars, or ring in the new year with your favorite bottle and friends in the table zone. Free Q Punch from 8 until...
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
26 minutes now after 7 o'clock. Let's meet now the pastor and the pilot. I'll stop right there. His name is Neil Justin. Neil, good morning to you.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for asking. How do you do?
I'm doing well. It's early morning. I'm actually away in Mexico at work, but we don't fly out till later. But yeah,
well,
good day to be alive.
Indeed, a good day to be alive. Clearly, moving people, whether it is in the skies or in the pulpit, is what you love to do. Talk to me a little bit about this passion of yours to preach and to pilot.
It's a dual passion of mine. I've loved flying since I've been a little boy. I'm currently 45, but I can remember back when I was 5 years old and I was living on the island of St. Lucia, and we lived towards the northern part of the island where we had a good view of the airport, George F. L. Charles.
Yes.
And if there was a plane coming or going, I stopped whatever I was doing, and I would love to watch, or I would love to go down by the beach that's right there by the airport. So flying has always been a passion of mine. And when I moved back to the U.S. in 1984, I had joined a church, and my mom was already part of it. And from since then, I started playing music, and then experienced traveling on a few mission trips to some of the islands. I think my first one was to Grenada and St. Vincent and to Trinidad. And being a part of that and experiencing, as well as doing a lot of mission work, that passion to be able to preach as well as to help out and to do a mission work really started to light up in me. So it became a duality, and I thought I had to choose between the two. When I graduated from college in 2003 with my undergrad degree, but then I realized, no, I do both. So I prayerfully trusted God and moved forward, and now I'm at this stage in my career, and I'm very, very grateful to have made it this far.
And you know, God trusted you too, so he's elevated you now to the position of pilot.
Absolutely.
Now you are the
Yes,
man
sir.
who leads the cockpit. You are the gentleman who's in control of the vessel that flies. I'm going to come
Yes,
to
sir.
what you did recently, this moment in time that you had recently. But while up in
Okay.
the skies, just out of curiosity, while in the skies and you're looking straight ahead and all you see are clouds, what is it about God that comes to your mind when you can see nothing, but yet there's something?
One of the things that comes to mind is the creativity of who God is, and his ingenuity and how he orchestrated all of this and put it all together. One of the reasons why I love flying so much is you get to see the world from a different point of view. You see it from 30,000 feet, 35,000 feet. You're up in the air. And you don't see the wars. You don't see the maybe even the way it is when you're on the ground. If you might see, I don't know, garbage on the floor, or I know I'm just naming negative things, but whether it's positive or negative, you don't see any of that because you're seeing it from a more of a macro perspective. You're standing out and you're looking. So now you see more of the topography. You see more of the land. You see the oceans. You see how the land is formed. For example, if I'm flying let's say I'm doing a trip to Barbados. So typically, you would fly from New York, at least from where I'm based, going down towards Barbados. You would end up crossing a lot of the islands, and now you start to see the formation of the islands. You start to see, for example, if I'm going through near Montserrat, I then be able to see some of the steam coming from the volcano. If you're flying over Guadeloupe or Dominica or Martinique, or even passing St. Lucia on your way to Barbados, you see the different formations, and the creativity of God is what wows me. Then you see the different cloud formations. You're in constant communications with the air traffic control, and you're also listening to other flights in communication with, and so you're hearing the myriad of voices. You're seeing the planet from a different perspective. Then you're in awe of just how amazing God is in his creativity.
What you mean? I just sit as a passenger looking through the window and I see what you see, but you see so much more than I do. And you say to yourself, my God, how wonderful thou art, thy majesty, how bright. And then you begin to recognize that those who question the creation story must be sitting in a totally different seat from what I sit in, because then you see how it all comes together and how one man, God, one person in God truly orchestrated all of this and controls all of it. And to have had the foresight to see it before it came into being, he is truly awesome indeed. So your faith leads you, not just sitting in the cockpit of the aircraft and looking straight ahead into clouds, but your faith in Christ also leads you to minister to people. Now, this position of pilot now afforded you the opportunity to have your maiden trip piloting the aircraft home to St. Lucia. What was that like for you?
Well, dream come true seems cliche, but it is something that I've wanted to do since I was small, and to actually fly as captain to St. Lucia was a dream come true. And as a caveat to that, my wife was on board and my parents were on board as well.
Wow.
So to actually fly them, I've flown my mom a few times already, and I've flown my wife a few times already. She's come along with me on certain trips if she has the time off and she's available and she knows I'm going somewhere interesting. She wants to come, so I will bring her with me. But this was the first time actually flying my dad, and so we were going to St. Lucia for the first time with me as captain. I've been there before as a first officer where I'm sitting on the right seat, but this time I'm actually in command of the entire aircraft. And St. Lucia was made aware, and I expected maybe just a water cannon salute, which is typically standard, and to honor a milestone for pilots, and that's what I expected. St. Lucia blew me away when I got there. I was in shock. My first officer, as I was talking to him, I turned to him and said, I did not expect this. I promise you. With all the steel pan was playing and then there was a red carpet rolled out, I was absolutely shocked. And then they did a big reception for myself as well as my family. And then I had family members on the island that living on the island. They were actually there to witness it as well. It was surreal, definitely a dream come true, and something I give honor and glory to God for bringing me this far, and just to receive that and take that all in. It wasn't just my first officer and I, even my our flight attendants, my in-flight crew, they were honored as well. They were celebrated. The entire thing absolutely blew me away.
You said you piloted your father for the first time. What did he say about your abilities? Did he critique you at all at the end of the flight?
No, he didn't. He just said he enjoyed himself. He said it was a very good flight. You know, I'm trying to think. I think at one point initially when we took off, there was a few bumps, which is we have to deal with it with weather. But with him, he was just so excited, and he said that it was a great flight. He enjoyed himself. He loved it. The landing was perfect, so I was good.
I am sure that made you feel very much comfortable after that, because, you know, their parents but they will say to you quite honestly what they think at the same time.
Absolutely.
You could have done this better, yo, man. You went to school to do so much better. But nevertheless, they were very happy. I'm so happy that they were happy that of the way that you piloted the aircraft and landed it so beautifully as well there at Huonora. That's where you landed, right?
Correct. It was in Huonora International Airport.
And then you had to make that trip all the way to the other side of the island because Huonora is on one side, over to the other side of your family home. And that's not 2 minutes, that's a couple hours alone just to go across to the other side. I know. I've traveled those long roads or those hills of St. Lucia. Do you, when you stop to think for just a moment about your career and your career path, what do you see for yourself?
Moving forward, career-wise, I want to be able to. A few years ago, the pandemic had kind of put a pause on that. But a few years ago, I started doing school visits on the island of St. Lucia, and then I hosted a couple of symposiums as well. So it wasn't just me. I brought along colleagues of mine, friends of mine, and the goal was to be able to. Using my story as a benchmark to help the students identify what they want to do, and then when they figure out what their purpose in life is, what they want to do, then how they can go about achieving it. And it was an amazing thing to do because I think I visited at least I visited at least 15 schools themselves, and then when I hosted the symposium, the rest of the schools sent some of their students to where we were, and it wasn't just aviation related. I brought business women, CEOs. I brought with me all from the U.S. My brother, who is a retired Army veteran for the U.S. Army, he came along as well, and he's also into finance, so he talked from that perspective. I brought lawyers with me as well. Some of our flight attendants came and fellow pilots. So to be able to impact the students is definitely a passion of mine. I mean, I guess that's bringing the ministry side of me into the mix. And then in addition to that, in light of the fact that I see a lot of nonprofit organizations, NGOs, and churches that do ministries, and then they're restricted in some of the ways that airlines operate. And it's not the airline's fault, it's just the way schedules are, the type of way the planes are in terms of the amount of cargo that can be carried. I want to be able to launch an air taxi company that can be used to help assist nonprofit organizations, churches, ministries to do mission work as well. So it's a duality of a passion of mine, but that's where I see my career heading within at least the next 5 years.
You know, serving people. With all of that, all I'm hearing all the while is people at the center of everything you do, but being of service to them as well. You've written a book called The Signs and Wonders of a Believer. So author has now to be added to all of the work that you do, along with everything else. Talk to me a little bit about the book.
It was a book I wrote 2012, and just an idea that God had given me, but it stems from the Gospel of Mark chapter 16 from verses 17 through 19, where Jesus talks about, and these signs and wonders shall follow them that believe. And it brings a different perspective of just more than what the scripture is saying. I take it in a deeper level, and how initially as a believer, the work is being done internally first before you start to see the external things. When we, there's a statement, and it's in the book, is a statement that I made where we normally hear you have to practice what you preach. And I said, the reason why I disagree with that statement is you're starting, the focus is on the outside first. I said, no, you practice what you believe. So you practice what's embedded in your heart first. And then what comes out of your mouth, because the Bible says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. You then preach what you practice. So the mouth is last. If you put it first, and then try to adjust your behavior to what you're saying, the inevitability of either hypocrisy or messing it up, it's very, very high. But if you believe it first, you practice it first, and then you go ahead and speak out what is invested in your heart. There's more of a genuineness of who you are and of your message, and I think you're much more impactful in life.
Powerful place of understanding, and I'm glad you were able to share with our viewers this morning indeed. But you two started out from a place of belief. You saw the aircraft, you from up high, you watched it as a boy, and you believed that one day that shall be your
One
place.
day I'll do it.
And here it is,
Right.
it's being manifested. Look at what your faith has allowed you to achieve and your skill set as well. And so we wanted to salute you this morning indeed. I'm sure many solutions who are watching this morning feel equally proud of their very own Neil Justin is his name. He has just piloted made his maiden pilot into it is St. Lucia indeed, and to what a wonderful welcome indeed. All the best to you, Justin. We wish you all the very, very best as you go forward. God's blessings continue to be upon you in 2023, and we look forward to even more of your authoring, your books that will inspire so many people across the world as well. And as you travel, I know that every day you're up there in the sky, you're getting closer and closer to God, and you're feeling that connection, and so you're able to transmit that to all of us who sit in the seat. I don't know, one day I'll be sitting in one of the planes that you're piloting, and I'll be proud to say I spoke to him, I met him indeed.
I'll be happy to welcome you on board. Anyone from the Mornin Barbados staff, doesn't matter. I'll be happy to welcome you on board.
Thank you, Justin. All the best indeed. Neil Justin is his name. Thank you for joining us. Indeed. What a wonderful young man, isn't it? We're going to take a break here. We're coming back with more in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's the event to end the year. Q in the Community presents Q Dance. This Old Year's Night at Highgate Bar, Dash Valley, St. George. Watch the fireworks, dance under the stars, or ring in the new year with your favorite bottle and friends in the table zone. Free Q Punch from 8 until 10 p.m. This Old Year's Night, dress your best and head to Highgate Bar from 8 p.m. until you say when. It's a big people party. This Old Year's Night, music by DJ King Scorpion, DJ Dr. Scotty, and more. Early bird tickets are available at $40 from Super Style Shoe Shop Sky Mall and the corner of James and Roebuck Street and Highgate Bar.
Season's greetings from the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation.
Rocking around the Christmas tree, have a happy holiday.
So, I'm Sam.
I'm Alicia.
I'm Nadia. And we're from the television's production department at the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation.
Wishing you a Merry Christmas
And a Happy New Year.
Season's greetings.
And I all body hand.
Me too.
All body hand. All body hand.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
60 minutes now to go to the hour of 8 o'clock this Wednesday morning. It is not Monday, it is Wednesday morning today, the 28th of December. Good having you company indeed. Now, we love to celebrate excellence on this island. We have some excellent musicians, some pianists as well who do some great work. One of who is Andre Ford. And as it is the season of Christmas, he took some time to play for us Little Drummer Boy. Let's take a look. Spectacular shots and bring it right back home. Indeed, Andre Ford, a Barbadian who has traveled the world and performed on steel pan. Indeed, what a panist truly he is. Actually making it to the semi-finals of that global competition Panogram in 2021, and no doubt pan is in his blood, entertainment is in his blood, and he's excelling and representing Barbados wherever he goes. Well done, Andre Ford. A break right here. When we come back, I have some words for you to unscramble, so get your thinking caps on. We're coming back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Rocking around the Christmas tree, have a happy holiday.
So, I'm Sam.
I'm Alicia. I'm Nadia.
And we're from the television's production department at the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation.
Wishing you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Season's
greetings.
And I all body hand.
Me too.
All body hand.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
So we're 11 minutes now, just make it 10 minutes now to go to the hour of 8 o'clock. How was your Christmas? How truly was it indeed? When was the last time you had a piece of sponge cake? Teresa Bino does an amazing sponge cake. Thank you, Teresa. Had it, it is gone, but a really good sponge cake indeed. If you've never tried sponge, you need to contact Teresa Bino. She is a brilliant, brilliant baker of cakes and so many other delicacies as well. So Teresa, thank you. Got the sponge cake. It was delicious. Enjoyed it to the max indeed. And to all of you who've truly had a wonderful time, I really hope that you take some time now. Let it be your resolve to get your health back in line, as I have to myself. So let's do this together. Let's do this together for the next coming days and next coming months, and hopefully we find ourselves living even longer and healthier for sure. Time for us now to unscramble some letters. All of these are still Christmassy words. So you know the numbers to call, right? 228-5562 or 228-5563. Answer the words correctly and you and I will have a good old time. Answer it wrong and you and I are also going to have a good old time. So let's give you some words now to unscramble. When you think you know the word, give me a call. 228-5562 or 228-5563. What's the first word to be unscrambled? Here we go. Here we go. Look at it carefully. Look at it carefully. There are 3 words. All 3 words make up a phrase. It's a Christmassy phrase. So call me now, 228-5562 or 228-5563 when you think you've stumbled upon what it is that's on your screen. So work it out. Give me a call. What words do you see on your screen at the moment? There are 3 words that make a phrase, a Christmas phrase. What is that phrase when all of those words and letters are put into exact order? 228-5562 or 228-5563. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, Pearson. Happy holidays to you.
You too. Thank you so much. What's your first name and what parish are you watching from?
My first name is Kathy. I'm calling from St. George.
Hello, Kathy of St. George. So Kathy of St. George, had a Merry Christmas?
Well, it was okay. I spent it at the Sandy Crest and QEH, but I'm thankful.
Ooh, I'm thankful too that you've been out and back home with us.
Yep.
Oh, what a memory, huh? But anyway, what words do you... I'm glad you're still alive to talk to us this morning, Kathy, indeed. So, what words do you see on your screen?
I am seeing 3 wise men.
You're seeing 3 wise men?
3 wise men and 1 wise woman here.
Look at you. You're wise for real, Kathy. Well done, well done. Spot on. I congratulate you, girl. What's your plan for the new year?
Just to live life and be happy. That's my
Amen.
plan for the new year.
Amen. Live life well and be happy. Thank you, Kathy. All the best, okay?
You do the same.
Thank you. I shall indeed. Thank you very much for calling. Let's see if we give them what. Oh, I feel for you guys. I really do feel for you right now. I don't have a clue what it is, but do you? Look at this. All jumbled up, all scrambled up. Your task is to unscramble the letters that you see in front of you right now, right now. And then you call me. 228-5562 or 228-5563. I had to look at my paper to try to figure this one out. Because left to me alone, I would say I give up. But I will not give up. I don't want you to give up either. 228-5562 or 228-5563. The only clue I'll give to you is it's one of the words used during Christmas. A word that you know that you use during Christmas. So, what word is that? That's what you see. Good morning. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. Are you?
Oh, I'm well. Thank you for asking. What's your first name and what parish are you watching from?
Tamar in St. Lucie.
Tamar from St. Lucie?
Yes, please.
You realize I got all excited just now, right? So, Tamar, what part of St. Lucie are you from?
Great Paul.
Great Paul. Did you go to Codrington Parish School?
Yes, I did.
Then, my technical director knows you.
Ruel?
So pardon me?
Ruel?
You know him?
Yes, I do.
How do you know him?
From school.
Yeah, but how? You were in the same class?
No, he's older than I am.
I'm dealing with this unscramble after this call. They're telling me, Pearson, unscramble. So, Tamar, you were both in the same class?
No, he's older than I am.
Yeah, he's older than you. So, okay, was he a good guy at school?
Yes, he was.
Don't go no further, right, Tamar? More to talk about, but nonetheless, I'll leave him alone. So, Tamar, from Great Paul, St. Lucie, what word do you see on your screen?
Is it reindeer?
Don't ask me questions. Tell me the word you see on your screen, Tamar.
Reindeer.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm so proud of you, not just as a Codrington Parish girl, but certainly as a person from St. Lucie. I am immensely proud of you. Reindeer is absolutely right. What's your plan for the new year, Tamar?
Not sure as yet.
But whatever it is, you're going to have some fun, right?
Of course.
All right, Tamar. Thank you so much for calling. All the best.
Okay, thank you. Same to you.
You're
Bye-bye.
welcome. You're welcome. I'll tell Roll you said hi.
I will do. Okay.
All right, indeed. Tamar got it right. She was quite right. Reindeer. Bring it back. Look, it's there. Right there. Look at this one. Look at this one now, folks. Another one for you. Another. Right. Got it now. Good. So what words do you see on your screen at the moment? 228-5562 or 228-5563. See if you could work this one out. Unscramble this one for us now. These two words that you see on your screen again. Two words, a phrase that you will use at Christmas. So, come on. Let's figure this one out together. So we've had St. George, we've had St. Lucie. Yes. And where shall we go now with this one? 228-5562 or 228-5563. We do thank you for viewing us wherever you are. Good morning. Hello.
Morning, Pearson. How are you?
Oh, I'm well. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
You sound as though you had a very Merry Christmas.
Yes, I did.
Oh, what did you do?
I baked a lot of cakes, and then we had a family lunch.
Oh, sweet.
And now I'm tired and resting.
Girl, I can understand that feeling for real. I get it for real. What's your favorite food to eat at Christmas?
My favorite food to eat at Christmas, I would say, is stuffing.
Really? Really, 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 really?
Yes, please.
With everything that's on offer, stuffing was what it was for you?
Yes, I love the stuffing. The way
Is it stuffing
my
that's...
sister does it, it's fantastic.
Is it stuffing that's done outside of the meat, or is it stuffing that's stuffed into the chicken and then you take it out?
Both. It's one done outside. She does it with the inside first, and then she does one on the outside in a dish.
Oh. Which one do you prefer, the inside one or the outside one?
I prefer both because they're all really nice.
You just like biscuit and bread, right?
No,
Fair enough.
it's not the biscuit and bread, Pearson. It's
Yes.
different herbs and seasonings that she uses that makes it so tasteful.
Fair enough. What's your first name or what parish are you watching from?
My first name is Karan. I'm calling from St. Philip.
Your first name is what?
Karen.
Karen.
Yes, please.
Oh, had me there for a minute. So, madam, what words do you see on your screen, Miss St. Philip?
I'm seeing candy cane.
Your eyes are crossed or your vision is fine?
If my vision is fine?
Uh-huh.
Yes, of course it's fine.
Are you sticking with this candy cane
The
thing?
letters that I see form the words candy cane.
That's the,
And
and
I'm
you're not
100% certain.
you're actually 100% right.
Thank
Well
you.
done. You're welcome. What's your plan for the new year?
My plan for the new year is to live peaceful and enjoy life to the fullest.
Oh, so why do you have to add live peaceful? Are you one of those troublesome girls?
Pardon me?
Are you a troublesome person that you have to resolve to live peacefully?
No, live peaceful with everyone and love and enjoy life.
Amen. Amen. Well, continue doing that. You're on the right path. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you, Preston.
All the best.
Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. So we've had St. George, St. Lucie, and St. Philip. What a wonderful spread today. Time didn't permit us to go to very much more. But I thank you so much for joining us again this morning. My producer has been Nadia Foster. The technical director, the one we have to question further, Ruel Ford. Our sound engineer has been Christopher Black-Redman. And our master control has been Tamisha Green. I'm Pearson Boyd. For each of them, to all of you, we thank you. If it be God's will, we'll see you again tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning.